Hey, Diane DeWald, creativecatcrafts.com. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to make this beautiful, it's a set called Divine Daisy from Gina K. So we're going to use this. How about I move us out just a smidge so you can see a little bit more. Sorry, I've got my glass mat, so I don't want to move you out too far. Otherwise, you're going to get a glare. But it's this Divine Daisy set from Gina K, and it's got this huge daisy. And you can see this is an A2 size card, and you can just see how large this is. But we're going to do the smooshed background, and oh, sorry for that glare. Like I said, lots of glare today. We're going to do 2 cards with 1 background that we're going to smoosh because this flower is so huge, we're going to end up cutting it in half. So what we're going to use today is Bristol, what is this? Strathmore Bristol smooth surface, not the vellum. You want the smooth surface. I find that I've already got a panel done, and this is kind of what we're going to do today. But you can see it doesn't get as waterlogged as regular cardstock because I tried this technique out using the 110 pound and it just didn't work. But I didn't want to use watercolor, so I wanted to use this Bristol Smooth. So let me move these items out of the way because I don't want to get water on those. So I just have my trusty handy dandy little water sprayer, and we're going to use Distress inks today, and we're going to use mustard seed, a fossilized amber, and what's this one? Wild honey. So I'm going to start with lightest and then go dark, and I've got my handy dandy little cardboard box, and I put some foil in the bottom. It kind of, when I'm using my heat tool, because I'm going to dry the cardstock in between layers. I'll put the cardstock in here, and the foil heats up and dries the paper from the front and the back. So I will edit this post-recording so you don't have the noise. But let's go and get ahead and get this started. So we're going to start with the mustard seed, and I'm going to get this other panel out of the way because I don't want to get water sprayed on it. And I'm just going to lightly mist. And I'm using, since we're going to do 2 panels, I'm doing a 5.5 by 8.5 section of the Strathmore Bristol Smooth Surface cardstock. And all I'm going to do is just kind of moosh it down a couple places. Let's see what we got. Didn't want to get that over there, but that's okay. And we will go ahead and I'm going to set that aside because I don't want to waste this. I'm going to get a corner because I'm going to do this on the inside panel as well. And I've got several panels that we're going to do this with. And then where's my little rag? Oh, my little microfiber towel. I'm just going to clean that off. Bring this in. I like the Ranger heated craft tool. It doesn't blow, it just heats. So I'm just going to dry this cardstock. And I could have muted this, and I apologize. I'm hoping that with the new mic system I have, I'm going to flip this over. Paper's starting to curl. But I'm hoping with the microphone that you're not getting as much of the drying as I am. Okay, so that's good. I think these are already dry. So now we're going to go with the fossilized amber. I'm just going to put a couple smooshes there with the ink pad. Get it a little wet this time. Oh, I like that. It's coming out very nice. And I'm going to put this over here because I want to pick up some of that. I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to have to dry that one now. That's not giving me as much as I wanted, so we're just going to add a little more ink, a little more water. That's the thing with these, you never get the same twice. So, okay, let's get the heat gun back in here. Let's get this dried off. It's a little more coverage on this than I wanted, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. We shall make it work. Turn that over, heat it from the back so that it kind of lays a little flat. This is going to curl. Doesn't matter what you do, it is going to curl. Okay, let's pull that out and start getting these dried. You can kind of see that drying a little bit. Yep, starting to curl. And you can use any color with this, and it doesn't have to be distressed ink. I like smooshing with distressed inks. Just what I like. It's my preference. So whatever ink you want to use, it should work just fine. Last one we're going to do is the Wild Honey. And let's see what we get. Oh, I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, let's see what we get with these little panels. Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that. I love ink smooshing. It's so fun because you never know what you're going to get. Okay, so one last dry session. And we can get our Memento ink out. Let's flip that over. Got a section right there that's needing to dry. Yep. So I lifted up some of the water so you can see the spots there. And I'm going to take my big block, and try to get some of that curl out before we have to work with that while I dry these other two. Because I want these as dry as possible for when we use the Memento ink. Okay, that's heating up nicely. Okay, so while those, let's see if I can get, I've got a smaller block. Let's see if I can get those to uncurl just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to pause you for a second and I'm going to get this set up. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can get this. It's dry enough to the touch, and I'm just going to slide this in here. See if I can get it to stick down. I've got the grip mat from Gina K in my Misty. I'm just trying to get this cardstock to grab it. Okay, so let's grab our big daisy. Depending on the color, you could actually change it to a sunflower. I think I'm going to do it right there. Yep. All right, okay, so I'm using the Memento Tuxedo Black. The last time I did this, it took many impressions. So we'll see what we get. Yep, many impressions. And I tried, what did I try? It wasn't a StazOn, but I forget what I tried, but because of the super smooth, I didn't heat set it and it smeared badly. Maybe one more and we'll see what we get. I'm just going to stick my head down in here because I'm going to take a look at it. Oh, I think it's good. So let me clean this stamp off. Actually, no, I don't need to clean it off. I'm going to peel this up for just a moment. And I need something I didn't prepare, so hang on. Okay, I'm back. So on my cards, I have this center colored in, and we're going to use some blending brushes, but we need to make our own stencil because there wasn't a stencil that came with the set. So I'm just gonna put this down, just a regular piece of 80-pound cardstock. I just want to get whatever ink is left over on it. I just need that. So now I can clean this off. And put it away. This microfiber is lint free. I'm just cleaning. See, there was still just a little bit of moisture left from that stamp, or not tidy towel, simple chamois from Stampin' Up. I don't sell those. I'm a former Stampin' Up demonstrator. It's just one of the things that has stayed with me, and I like it, and they last a long time. So once that wears out, I'll break out my tidy towel. We don't need this. I do need some scissors. So let me pull you in close so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm basically just going to cut around this. So easiest thing to do, doesn't matter how you get there, and it's just kind of a rough cut. I'm not going around each one of the little lines, but I want to get as close to those lines as possible, and I want a little bit of the natural curviness of that center, and it will make sense once we get this all together. There, so we've got the center all cut out, and I'm going to turn this over and put some of my Frog Delicate Surface tape just to hold those together, and then we're good. So try to flatten this out a little bit. So all I'm going to do is kind of match this flower up as best I can with that center. This is the easy part. Do that again. I'm just using the minty tape from scrapbook.com, or if you've got pixie tape, that works fine. And we're going to use, what is this? Dark chocolate and warm cocoa. I'm going to start with the warm cocoa. And I'm going to use the larger of my blending brushes with the with the warm cocoa. And I know that's what it was on there before, and I'm going to start off and just kind of fill that in. And I want that to get a lot more brown. And we'll come in with the dark chocolate on the edges. I think that's good. Let me cover this up. Put that off to the side. Get our we had warm cocoa. I just can't keep these colors straight. The dark chocolate, and we're just going to do this on the edges and swirl it around. Just like that. Let me cover this up. And I'll go put my blending brushes away. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, that's really neat. Although, you know what? I'm going to go get them because I need to get, I had that off center just a smidge. So let me go grab, I still have the ink pads here. Let me go grab those brushes again. That's the beauty of this. This is easy to fix. I'm crossing my fingers. So I'm just going to move that just a little right there. Load this up again. And yep, there we go. This is super easy to fix. Okay. Bring back the dark chocolate and I love these pads because they really lock down. Okay. Just around the edges. Okay, let's see what we've got. That's better. Much, much better. I like that. And I had this problem earlier, so we're going to go ahead and dry that ink real quick. I touched it and it got ink on everything. Okay, so let me clear this up and get some cardstock and we can put this together. Okay, I have everything together. We have our panel here. I have Master Layouts 1, the larger and smaller of the card base rectangles. I have these here. I've already used the larger of the two and cut out my black mats for the card. And let's go ahead and cut this panel in half, or as close to half as possible, half of the flower, and get that straight. And then I'm going to use the smaller of the two rectangles and cut out the flower, and I will be right back with that. Okay, this time I put a piece of just regular copy paper over it, and you can see it picked up some of the ink from this when I cut it out. Even though I heat set it, it still is giving off some ink, so I highly recommend doing that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this card side, or the side of this cardstock, so I'll be right back. Okay, let's see what we got here. And same thing happened again. So I highly recommend just putting a thin sheet of copy paper on top. And there we've got our two card panels. So let me put that off to the side. And We don't need these any longer, so I'm going to get these up here, just out of the way. And I have lemon yellow, and we're going to just cut this in half, 5 1/2. And let me get my scoring tool out. I like the big We Are scoreboard, and then throw back to my Stampin' Up. I've had this for 25 years, the Stampin' Up tool. I don't have, I broke my scoreboard from Stampin' Up in a move. I've moved across state lines multiple times, and somehow it didn't get packed properly. My fault. And it broke. Did I score that in the right place? Yep, I sure did. Okay, so let me put this away. Ouch. That's where I get those bruises. I just whacked my hand into my table. Ow. Okay, and I'm just going to burnish this down so we have a nice fold. Same here. And I'm still working on sentiments for this. I'm going to send this to my nieces. I've got 2 of them that are actually going away to school. I have 2 that are staying in town to go to school and 2 that are leaving. And the youngest starts her freshman year this year. So, and she's a little bit anxious about leaving home. So I get that. So, okay, we're just gonna attach this panel. And I have 1 sentiment we're gonna go ahead and put on, and then we'll put the embellishments on as well. And did I do this right? This is the wrong panel. Hang on a second. Okay, I feel like a total goober because I used the wrong panel. So the matte and the focal level, it was the same size. So, okay, I just recut it, that's all. Easy peasy, fix it. Okay, I'm lining this up, or trying to line this up, upper right, lower left. There, okay, perfect. Ugh. So I'm recording this on a Friday night. My husband went over to visit his parents at their lake cottage, and I am going up for the day tomorrow. So I'm trying to get this done, and I'm tired. I really want to go to bed, but I wanted to get this recorded because I've had this in my head for several days, and it just needed to come out. All right, so we'll do the inside panels later because I'm going to print off sayings for them. And I've got one of these I'm going to actually do a sentiment because I think it's perfect for her, given that it's her freshman year at college away from home. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick that down. And I have this Alta New, what is this? Wings and Petals. And New Year. New Year. Where'd it go? New Beginnings. And I'm going to get my head in the way because I want to make sure these are straight before I pick them up. Okay, how about I get this out? Oh, it stuck to it. Okay, this isn't working. That's not working. I think that works. Okay. Oh, like I said, I'm tired tonight. Not too bad. Oh, I like that. That's perfect. Okay. New year, new beginnings. That's perfect sentiment for her. Okay. Peel this up. Let's get this on the front of the card base I cut. Making sure I don't smear that. I'm going to be super upset if I smear it. Yeah, it's still inky. Yep. It's not smearing, but I'm getting ink. Okay, the super smooth Bristol. Be very careful with your Memento Tuxedo black ink. Go around that. A little bit of... There we go. Sliver of cardstock right there. And then the last thing we're going to do with this card is I've got these black smooth discs from Spellbinders. Let's get you in. That's like super close. Oh, she's going to love this card. And then get my glue. And let's do, oops, a little piece there. There's a black piece there and there. And my little pig stick. And let's do a big one. Turning it over because the concave was the wrong direction. Do a little one here and a medium here. I think that turns out beautifully. And I'll finish up the other card later. And like I said, I'm going to do the inside with a special sentiment to each one of them. But here's the original cards. Got a happy birthday and a many thanks. And then I had this new beginnings. Thanks so much for joining me today as we explored doing a little bit of ink smooshing and this Divine Daisy. I think it makes a stunning card. You could also use this on, what is that, a 5x7 size. I prefer the smaller sizes, and it's perfect to give you 2 panels. And like I said, I'll finish this card when I find the right greeting for the niece that's going to be a junior this year. So thanks again. Appreciate your time. If you would like this video so that YouTube picks it up and recommends it to others who have paper crafting interest, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you would hit the subscribe button down below and then click the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. In the meantime, until I see you, happy stamping. Thanks a lot.